So are you thinking about moving to the Fort Walton Beach area? Maybe you've got the family, the kiddos in tow, and just wondering if this is going to be the best place for you and your family. Well, luckily in this video, we're going to go ahead and show you exactly what that is and why you should choose this area. So stick around. What's up, everybody? This is Tim Whittemore.
I'm Stephanie Bueno.
And we're here with you with the Whittemore Group at LPT Realty over here in the beautiful Emerald Coast. We're going to give you some great information about our entire area. So if this is your first time to our channel, we do tons and tons of videos about everything you want to know. If we don't have it, throw it in the comments below and we'll go ahead and make it, won't we?
We sure will.
Absolutely. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so that you're notified every single time we got a new video coming out. So we get tons of questions all the time, what it's like to eat, sleep, work, play here in this area, and we love it, all right? So please reach out to us. Give us a call, text, email, whatever you got to do. We got your back when moving here to our area. So let's get into Fort Walton Beach. Yeah!
Woo!
Is this going to be a good place to raise a family?
Absolutely.
I think it is. That's right. So if you don't know where Fort Walton Beach is, it's one of those destination places. Yeah, that's right. So it is a beach town. It encompasses what we have, Cinco Bayou. Where else? We have...
There's the Choctaw Bay.
That's right. It also kind of incorporates the Shalimar and Berryessa area. Everybody just kind of considers it kind of the same. Ocean City, all those different places all culminate into what we consider Fort Walton Beach, or at least that's what the internet does. And definitely our MLS does. Don't ask us about that. But in this area, we've got a ton of growth potential. It's really centrally located. And the best part I like about Fort Walton Beach is that you can actually get around places and don't have to go all the way around to Eglin Air Force Base. That's one of my favorite places. But let's talk about some great things. We mentioned the beaches. Let's talk about the natural beauty of Fort Walton Beach. Something about it, like because the Air Force Base is so close, both of them, we have Hurlburt Field and we have Eglin Air Force Base, even the condos here are only about 6 stories high, right? Somewhere around there. And because it can't, is that right?
About 7. 7 max.
7 max, all right. So don't stand on top of them. But because of that, it doesn't feel like it's condo city like South Florida does. And they're not really stacked up on top of each other. There are 6 on Okaloosa Island, which is that way that you get into Destin from Fort Walton. There's 6 miles of just untouched beach that's got the dunes and everything else out there. The beauty of that just on its own is just unmatched, if you ask me. Not just that, but you're going to go through the Intercoastal Waterway and everything through there. And something about having those white sand beaches just right next to like a lush forest is just beauty in itself.
It sure is. Now let's also talk about family-friendly attractions in Fort Walton Beach. I mean, I can kind of speak for that from just the growth of things to do with the family in Fort Walton, because I moved here in 1994. Oh. Dad was military, stationed in Harbor Field. So I don't recall a lot of things that are offered in Fort Walton Beach now. It's like I know the Gulfarium was there, but Gulfarium is growing. They're expanding. They're adding on a dolphin oasis that's set to open later this year as well. Nice. So that's pretty exciting. More entertainment for families to be able to see the dolphins, and they have other animals as well, sea lions, of course, more dolphins, and children will be able to interact with these animals as well. So that's pretty cool. Awesome. There's also there's Wild Willie's Adventure Zone on Okaloosa Island. That's great to take families or adults. You can have adult fun there too. There's miniature golf. Adults like arcade games too, and I think they do have go karts there now. They do have some sort of theater, a 3D theater in there as well. But we didn't really have all that way back when in the 90s, as far as like a lot of arcades. I think there was like Aladdin's Castle in Santa Rosa Mall. I don't know if you remember that. But throw all your quarters in there and lose it all. But I mean, back in the day, the place to hang out was Santa Rosa Mall, which we know it's not a whole lot going on in there now. It's a ghost town. And the skating rink, which the skating rink is still there. That's another awesome place to go with the family. Adults, again, that's a great activity too. Maybe like an 80s skate party is a fun thing to do. So that's still up and running. They've revamped the skating rink too, so it's still going strong as far as place to go. There's also the Temple Mound downtown Fort Walton Beach to be able to visit and be able to learn about the history. It showcases the Native American artifacts and offer a glimpse into the region's rich heritage. But again, yes, lots of things to do in Fort Walton Beach for families, more than what there was to offer in the 90s. So that's another great thing to know, that Fort Walton Beach is still also growing.
That's right. You just don't have to bring them out to the beach anymore. You can take them to other places now.
Yes.
Moving on, we also have top-notch education here in the Fort Walton Beach area. We've got 2 high schools in this area. We've got the Fort Walton Beach High and Choctawhatchee. Did I say that right?
Just say Choctaw.
Choctaw.
That's where I went.
So
Go Big Red.
we've got 2 different high schools and a bunch of, there are obviously 2 middle schools, and there's a bunch of elementary schools throughout here. And it's really been kind of a destination place that people want to go, mainly because Destin itself, since I threw that out there again, they didn't have a high school for the longest time.
Right.
So they would send all their kids over to Fort Walton Beach High for their high school education.
Very crowded.
So yes, it was pretty crowded, but it has actually been ranked number 2 in our area for the best high school, second to Niceville, which is the best high school here in the area. So that's what we have for the education. And one other thing too, if you want to double check us, which you're more than welcome to do, go ahead and check out niche.com. Check out the reviews for the school, and that should give you a pretty good look of what people are saying. It seems to be pretty accurate.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's pretty close. You always get one disgruntled person every once in a while, so pay no heed.
Right. Everyone has their own opinions.
Everybody does.
Now let's talk about community spirit. I mean, Fort Walton Beach, it prides itself on having a strong sense of community. It's very welcoming. And I do remember that too, moving here. A lot of people were very welcoming to our family. Very nice, especially the students in the school that I went to. Lots of the kids were very friendly, willing to help me out. It's funny, a side note, we do have a new team member that we knew each other in 5th grade. So he was... accident swore to catch up in my hair, but was very nice about it. I was nice to him about it. All the kids were nice about it, didn't make fun of me. It was very embarrassing, but again, the kids were, even the children are welcoming in the community. Let's just want to put that out there as well. And there's lots of community activities to get involved in or to be able to participate in. There's lots of festivals, especially at the Fort Walton Beach Landing. There's the Billy Bowlegs parade that they have out there, which is actually going on now, I think this week or this month. And there's the Christmas parade that they have every Christmas. They shut down part of Eglin Parkway. It's just a big community event here in Fort Walton Beach. And there's also just the tight-knit community bond in some of the neighborhoods as well, especially if you like to go trick-or-treating with your children. Kenwood is a very popular neighborhood for that. Lots of kids that don't even live in the community would love to go there. I mean, my kids did it too, and it's not even just treats that they give out there. I mean, they give out hot dogs. There's homeowners out there grilling hot dogs on Halloween. There's homeowners that will turn their home into a real haunted house. Oh, yeah. Their entire home turned into a haunted house for the community. And for the Christmas holidays, was it Northview Estates? Northgate Estates. That's really big on the holiday spirit. Really welcoming to people that don't even live in that neighborhood to just come see all the decor that they have. But again, it's just that great sense of community that we do have here in the Fort Walton Beach area. It's Absolutely. Really amazing.
Absolutely, and to add to that as well, they also have really good safety and well-being in this community. Mm-hmm. I'd say first of it would just be the community itself wanting to kind of police itself, to keep itself out there. We do have a lot of military personnel active and retired. There's a lot of retirees, including myself, that decided to stay in this area. And I think it really kind of fosters that sort of dynamic that they have right now. Beyond that, the police force in the area's been doing a great job. You'll see them around enough that it kind of does that deterrent. Now, if you want to know statistics on the area, you can, of course, look that up on areavibes.com, and they'll be able to give you those statistics. However, it's an interesting community. If you've lived anywhere else, there's usually some place in that city where you're like, people are like, don't go there, don't go there. But when you live in this community, I'd say most of the surrounding towns around here, until you get to about Pensacola, there's really none like that.
Right.
There's some places that are a little bit more run down, but there's really not any ghetto, so to speak, that you'd be afraid to walk through. So the safety and well-being is just top notch in this area.
Now, another question that a lot of people like to ask, is Fort Walton Beach a great place to raise a family? Well, I would definitely say so. I myself grew up here since the age of 11, so I can pretty much vouch for that. I can pretty much vouch for that, y'all. Don't worry about the education system; they're good. It's just me on my language here. Again, with the strong sense of community, very welcoming. The schools, I mean, I never had any issues with. I never had any personal problems when I attended the school system here and with my kids. But then again, everyone has different experiences. So again, just go to those websites that Tim mentioned just to get a real feel of what others are saying about the schools. And as far as family things to do, that's really important to people that don't like to just sit at home and look at TV and let their kids just play on the games all day. There's lots of things to do outside of your home to be able to enjoy things, activities as a family, which is very important. Doesn't always have to be out at the beach, but find things that kids can just get interactive experience. There's the Emerald Coast Science Center if you want them to have fun but get educated at the same time, or just go to one of the local playgrounds and just interact with other children. If you might have the kids that don't get along with their siblings, so just throw them out there with other kids and let them annoy other people's children. But yes, I definitely would say, in my personal opinion, that Fort Walton Beach is a great place to raise a family. I do see a lot of other families that pretty much settled here like we didn't want to leave, compared to other places that they have lived throughout a lifetime, and just really considered Fort Walton Beach home.
Absolutely. It's always fun to trick the kids into learning something.
Right.
All right, so a lot of questions that we get for the area, they go, hey, what's the best area to live in Fort Walton Beach? And you can Google this, and I don't know. Some of the suggestions that they gave out was like, where's that community? Did I miss something? Yeah. So we'll give you the truth where most people that we find like to go. We have mentioned in previous videos, Kenwood. Kenwood's a nice community that you're going to find. It's over there by Choctaw. Didn't go to follow in there. Yeah. So it's over there by that area. Lots of sidewalks, really nice community. You'll see people walking around a lot that area. Another one is over there by Ferry Park. That is over there by Bay Street. It's close to downtown. You'll see tons of people out there all the time. It's a golf cart community, so they'll be driving all around that area. And another one that I was just made aware of was Bayfront Gardens was something I didn't know until I looked into it. I was like, yeah, it's actually kind of nice. And that sort of waterfront lifestyle. So lots of great places to go.
Awesome. Yeah, lots of, there's a neighborhood for everybody.
That's right.
And a lot of people also want to know, is Fort Walton Beach less crowded than Destin? I would definitely say so, because Destin is more of the touristy area. A lot of people do visit Fort Walton Beach because there's Okaloosa Island, lots of condos, so lots of short-term rentals, meaning lots of tourists. Right. But I would say it's probably a more relaxed and peaceful atmosphere out in the Fort Walton Beach area. We may not have as much like shopping opportunities, or maybe not as many different types of restaurants that you might find in Destin, which might make it a little bit less crowded. So we do have a lot of Fort Walton Beach residents that would travel outside of our bubble to get to these areas. And of course, during peak season, April through the end of summer, July, August, with the crowd, I mean, it might pick up a bit during that time, but it's still not as crowded as the Destin area, I would say.
Yeah, the Destinites, they say that they go back to the mainland to go do some shopping at like Sam's and stuff like that. So I guess we're the mainland.
Yes, yeah. I guess so.
All right, additional questions for this area. They ask, is the water clear in Fort Walton? Is what I'm seeing on these videos and these pictures real? Well, yes.
Yep.
Yes. So you're going to see the bay. The bay out there is not as clear, but as soon as you get towards Destin, you get on the other side of Okaloosa Island where you see the white sand beaches. Yes, it is that color. Strangely enough, it moves all the way from Louisiana, and it's all that dirty water that comes out from the Mississippi. And then because of it, it gets filtered and it moves down. And by the time it is completely filtered out, it's down by our area, which gives that with the algae that's in the water, that emerald color. But it's absolutely gorgeous here. Yeah, every time I go up over the Destin Bridge and just look over, I'm like, I can't believe I live here.
All right, so let's talk about the top neighborhoods in Fort Walton Beach. I know we kind of touched on that already, but inquiring minds still want to know. As we mentioned earlier, there is Kenwood. We do have people that specifically request Kenwood. I mean, I've had someone say, just don't even bother looking outside of Kenwood. And they will sit and wait until the house that they are wanting comes on the market. And that's fine because, Kenwood is desirable. Yeah. Again, it's close to Choctawhatchee High School.
That's how you say it.
And Pryor Middle School as well, and there's I think there's a couple of elementary schools that'll still students can catch a bus to get to the area. But yes, Kenwood again, it's great for the community sense as well. The homeowners and families get together to celebrate certain times of the year, such as the holidays and Halloween and all that good stuff. Now, another desirable area is the Elliott's Point area. A lot of people love this because it's close to Ferry Park. And Ferry Park, by the way, is one of my favorite parks in the Fort Walton Beach area because, there's lots of recreational activities you can do out there. They have a multi-purpose field, basketball courts, tennis courts, disc golf.
Disc golf.
I've never even heard of disc golf until a few years ago when I learned that Ferry Park has that.
Now they're everywhere.
Yes, it's a thing now apparently. But yes, it's easy accessible to get to Ferry Park in the Elliott's Point neighborhood. A lot of people get on their golf carts too just to go to the grocery store. You're close to a Publix, and you can also get to Uptown Station, which is probably like the happening shopping spot in Fort Walton Beach as far as a little bit of shopping and some grocery shopping. Starbucks is there too, if you're wondering. That's important to a lot of people. Yes. Where is the closest Starbucks? So yes, definitely Elliott's Point is a highly desired area. And I would also like to mention again Northgate Estates. It's kind of off of Mary Esther Cutoff or Mary Esther Boulevard. So this is that neighborhood where a lot of people do come together during the holidays and decorate. A lot of people that don't live in that area like to flock over there and just see what they got going on. Keep an eye out for home sales that are there, which I don't even think I see too many homes hit the market in that area. I have to double check that. But of course, if there's a nice home out in Northgate Estates, people will definitely jump on it and get their opportunity to be able to live there. But yes, those are just a handful of highly desired neighborhoods in Fort Walton Beach, but I know there are several more, so just make sure you reach out to us if you would like to know more.
That's right. Now that we talked about neighborhoods, let's talk about those beautiful condos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what are the 5 best condos down in Fort Walton Beach? I'm going to narrow that all down to Okaloosa Island because that's got the beachfront that's out there, right? However, again, this is one of those things where you do a Google search and there's just self-promotion. So where do we find most people that come in here? What are the newest ones? Where do people find like the most attraction for that as far as like renters and whatever, right? So first is going to be Waterscape. It is one of the newer ones that is down there. Waterscape has the lazy river and a bunch of other pools throughout that area. It's kind of set up weird, if you ask me. Building A isn't where you think Building A is going to be.
Right.
But it's okay, there's a really long hallways through the center of it. But other than that, it is actually a really nice place for people to go. People love going there just so you have the pools. And yes, you do have your own private access to the actual beach out there until you get to a certain point, then it's public beach. So Waterscape's going to be one of those. The other one's Emerald Isle, which is down there. It's a little bit older of a place that's down there. But there are some beautiful condos that are there. It's kind of set back. There's another street to get there. There's actually decent amount of parking for that unit. And you're really close to a lot of things and different beach accesses and all different sorts of things down there. Azure is also a great place to go. Those have phenomenal units out there. Matter of fact, I think you were working with somebody that just wanted Azure, and we just couldn't find anything because they just never come up. But Azure's got plenty of amenities out there, beautiful rooms, and really close to where everything kind of transitions from 98, so you're really close to all the restaurants and places like that. Destin West is not in Destin. It's in Fort Walton Bay.
Tricky.
But this one's interesting as well. If you've been through Okaloosa Island before, you'll see that kind of land bridge or walking bridge that's over the top. That's actually connects those two units together. So you have a bayfront side, which has a lazy river on it. You go on the other side, you've got the Gulf side. It's got an infinity pool, all sorts of really good stuff there. So it's got a lot. It's a big complex, and it's very popular. Last one I want to mention is the newest one on Okaloosa Island. You know what that is?
I don't know what's the newest one.
It's called Blue. BLU
okay.
is Blue. So they just came up with, they just built that a few years ago. I haven't seen too many of those pop up. Obviously, they just purchased that. But it's more of the luxury area that you're going to find in and around Okaloosa Island. And really gorgeous place if you can get your hands on one.
Oh, yeah. Blue. I'll have to look into that one. See what's available. All right, so if you are planning to move to Fort Walton Beach, of course, you are going to want to know some of those insider secrets. In order to do that, you're going to want to connect with the Whittemore Group, because we are the ones to be able to help you with that. Of course, we would definitely offer our expertise, help you find exactly the type of property that you're looking for within your price range, and we can also help guide you through the purchasing process, because that can be a bit of a pain sometimes if you don't have a professional helping you. So if you do it on your own, it might not be as smooth as what it would be working with us here at the Whittemore Group. So definitely explore the area as well. Make sure you explore. We can help you with that too, and figure out what area you want to live in, whether you want to be closer to the beach or if you want to be a little further away from the beach. We can definitely help narrow that down and see what works for you. And again, familiarize yourself with the school system too. Again, it always comes up with every family that I speak with, so I just want to make sure I point that out. Just make sure wherever you want to live, it does line up with your family's interest. So we can also, we also want you to take advantage of the city's welcoming community and attend all the local events as much as you possibly can. Again, we mentioned that earlier. There's always something going on all throughout the year, festivals and lots of things going on downtown that are family friendly. They're not just a bunch of booze fest.
Well, some of them.
Yeah. But yes, there's activities out there for everyone of all ages. So make sure you just look into that too and see what you and your family might be able to enjoy while you're relocating here to the area. And again, feel free to reach out to us at the Whittemore Group so we can help you figure out what's best for you and your family when moving here to the Fort Walton Beach area.
That's right. So the question at the end is this a great place to raise a family? Well, that's entirely up to you. But we think so.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's really something to have your own little piece of paradise where people pay thousands of dollars to come down here and vacation. You get to live in this area. And that's just incredible to be able to say. I know I still feel it, and I've been here over a decade. So it's absolutely wonderful place to go. It's really great. A lot of our customers, our past clients, have said how much that they love for them and their loved ones to be in this area. And it's just been such a welcoming community. It's one of the best places that I've ever lived in, and I traveled all around the world when I was in the Air Force, and this is where I landed. So anyway, that's all that we do have for you for the Fort Walton. Is this a good place to raise a family? If you have any questions about anything we mentioned, please leave it in the comments below. If you have anything you want to add, we love hearing from you guys. Please keep it positive and leave it here in the comments below. But again, I'm Tim Whittemore.
And I'm Stephanie Bueno.
And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Give us a call, text, email. Find us on social media, whatever you got to do. We got your back when moving here to Fort Walton and the Emerald Coast. See you next time.
Bye, guys.